So, okay, this is a story I actually do care about, and I care about it for a couple of reasons. One is that I think this is going to last at least through the trade deadline, possibly through the year. And that's something that I have been saying for a long time. So all of this sort of like roller coaster ride of the weeks and months that we've experienced, mostly on Twitter, I try to be sort of unimpressed by that because I've always known it was going to be a while. The second thing I'll just say real quick about this. So much of this conversation now is around mental health, and there's a serious conversation around that we can have. I just want to point out that people seem to be talking about it like in not the way that we should be talking about it, which is to say this. I believe that Ben Simmons has mental health concerns that he needs to work through. I believe that they manifest on the court. I believe that this is something that you can draw a line to and from his performance and his family and lots of other stuff that is like dark and serious. But I also believe that the stuff that's going on now with regarding his trade demand, like that seems like he just hates his boss a lot and the people he works with a lot. And I feel like there's a conflation there where no one really wants to say both things at the same time. But I feel like that's also what's happening.
That can impact your mental health. But before
absolutely,
before I pass this over to Mr. Barnwell, I would like to point out that that's how you do it, Pablo. See, you didn't wait for me to say something and then pretend like I said the thing that was in opposition to what you really wanted to say. You just came in and said, you know what I want to address?
Learning so much.
Instead, you didn't wait for me to say, you know what, we should respect Ben Simmons' mental health, and then say, you know what, I'm so sick of all you people talking about this foolishness.
I don't sound like that.
I wasn't talking about
you. If you listen to my podcast, you would know how I sound.
I wasn't talking about you. Jeez. Hit dog, gone holla. Anyway, what you got to say? Or cat. Don't hit your
What I got to say
cats,
about Ben
guys.
Simmons? Like from Ben Simmons' perspective, like, does it matter whether this is true or not? Like the moment he gets traded, I think all of this fades away. Like, it's not as if there's going to be lasting repercussions about how he acted, whether this is true or not, which I believe it is true to some extent. Like it doesn't matter. Look at the Jalen Ramsey thing. When Jalen Ramsey got traded a year or two ago, where it was, oh, my back hurts, I can't play for the Jags. The moment he got to the Rams, that conversation was over. He played, whether it was fake or not, it did not matter. Right. So, like, in big picture of what Ben Simmons getting what he wants, like, this is just temporary and it's going to fade the moment there's actually some action happening with this deal.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Go ahead, Pablo.
No, I was just gonna say, Domonique, and I'll throw it to you. Like, that's the James Harden story too. That's the story of these guys wanting out. But Alabaster threw a card down there that I wanted your opinion on, because the idea that, like, normally the NBA, Adam Silver might be intervening here. Like, what they're basically doing is saying, you know what, we don't want to enable this degree of protest, holdout, insouciance. I don't even insouciance. Wow, that's a word I just realized I've never said out loud before until now.
But Domonique, grind this to a halt.
But ungrind this.
We had
there's the card.
And you tried to use a word, and you already used, like, you hit us with the reverse Yosemite Sam. And that he struggles with a word and then he switches to another one. You gave us two legitimate possibilities, and then decided to go with the third to stutter on. I'm confused. It doesn't make sense.
This was the Wile E. Coyote running off the canyon, looking down and realized, I don't know how to pronounce insouciance.
But you didn't need it, is the thing. Like, you had already defined it. But anyway, I don't even remember what your question was. My ears were hurting.
Very insouciant for you to say.
From your insouciance. But I do think that there's a lot on this that I think is interesting. So the Daryl Morey part of this is interesting because he has his level of celebrity, I think, impacts this in a way that you wouldn't have with other general managers, because I think he has a reputation and he wants to keep it up, a reputation of being like the smart guy in the league that wins all trades and can make everything happen, was on to James Harden before anybody else was. Like, that's who he is, the one who swindles everyone out of trades. And now he's in a position where he can't win this trade. And he needs to accept that he can't win this trade and move on from him, unless he's just like hoping for some catastrophic change to happen at some point in the league. And also, like, recognize that a lot of people are cheering for him because he's in opposition to Clutch, which is the agency that LeBron started and the agency that Simmons belongs to. And they have been making power moves. And I don't think that the old guard in the league appreciates it. So having Daryl Morey, their fearless leader, refuse to acquiesce to their demands, I think makes people happy. But I'm on the other side of that. As a player, I tend to believe in player empowerment, and I see that it seems like I actually said something that offended Bill Barnwell. So let me get out the way so he doesn't have to pretend like I said something to offend him and let him be mad at me.
That's just not being a true friend. You don't recognize my facial expressions. That was all, if anything, that you following the disaster that was the insouciant moment, you went straight to acquiesce. Like, that's real. That is a athlete's confidence there. Like, that's seeing someone shoot an air ball, and that's like, you know what? I am going to go and take a 30-footer right afterwards.
That is not in Ben Simmons' question, to be comfortable to shoot your shot from anywhere on the floor at any moment. But about the mental health stuff.
Hold on. You saw Bill being agitated and ignored me also being agitated. Because the idea that this trade has already sort of been lost by Daryl Morey is not yet true.
Right.
I know that Alabaster threw a card on there that said that 30 players are on this list. And I don't know if 30 players as suitable trade exchanges are all going to make Sixers fans happy. But the idea that this is over is not true. No, I don't think it's over at all.
You're right.
I don't think this is a thing that Daryl should have acquiesced to by now, if I may also throw a heat check with the S and C words. Yeah, I don't think it's over yet.
Well, I mean, you're right. It's not over yet. But they certainly are in a worse position than they were at many points when Daryl first got there. They're in a worse position. Ben Simmons' value has not increased.
It's not good for Daryl to have to deal with this.
Right, and their leverage has not increased. So that's my point.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.